Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 10 of Logo Design Bootcamp. I'm Steve Looney from GraphicDesignerTips.com, and in today's episode, graphic artists all around the world are going to learn how to build this logo right here, and it's called Jammin Jammies, and it's based on the letter J. Now, if you're new to Logo Design Bootcamp, let's get this out of the way for a second. Every week, I design a new fictitious logo for you to learn from and tell you the good attributes of it, pull it into Adobe Illustrator, and show you a couple new tools and techniques on how to build this stuff. Ultimately, in the end, you'll become a better graphic artist. Now, I always want to give everybody a heads up of where my inspiration comes from because we're all artists. We want to know, where does inspiration come from? People ask me all the time. They see a logo that I designed and they want to say, oh, where'd you come up with the technical aspect of it? Or where'd you come up with the idea of it? Well, it's first of all, it's coming up with the creative idea, and then it's spending time. I mean, these logos can take hours and hours to do. This one version of the logo, it took me about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to do. I mean, that's a lot of time, but I wanted to invest a lot of time into it for you guys as my viewers. So the actual inspiration that made this logo Jammin Jammies is I'm having a baby in about 2.5 months, a little baby boy, and I'll show you a picture of the room that I have finished almost. Did all molding, beadboard, redid floors, everything. So these are the colors of the room. We have tropical pool, and it's almost fitting that it's called tropical pool because we're having a honeymoon baby from a Sandals honeymoon, which is pretty cool. But aside from that, we have the whites, of course, and we're going to put a lot more yellow accents. We haven't done the curtains and all that jazz yet, but that's what I kind of wanted to incorporate into this logo. Yeah, it's a baby-themed logo. I've been at Babies R Us every freaking day this week, which I'm not complaining. I love it, but you know, things are going a little crazy. Plus, I committed to every one of you that I will get these videos out every week, no matter what happens. So let me critique this logo for you. Let's jump into it so I can show you the different aspects, thought process around it. Let's go. Now I'm showing you this on a white background, which is what it is intended to be on. The name of the font is called Teaspoon. And basically what I did was, instead of writing the words Jammin Jammies completely out, they incorporate the same first 4 letters. So I intentionally cut them halfway between, and I emphasize each word by having a different color depicted. So we have the top is the green with the Jammin, Jammin, and Jammies on the bottom in yellow. Which is a pretty cool way to separate things. Once the viewer sees that the first time, they're going to read it like that, like forever. You might think, oh, they're going to have a problem reading it as Jammin Jammies, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any major companies that have done this. I mean, I know I've seen it. I just, not at this very, very quick moment. But I also added a .com in here, which is something you might see on some logos, depending how large they are. You want to obviously be able to read .com, especially if it's printed out on something. With the baby, I found a picture of a baby on the internet, and because I'm not Mr. Supernatural, major, amazing drawer, I found the picture. I traced out the baby's outline with on the pen tool, and then I added a cool brush stroke on it, and I created a couple layers on top of it so I could add a different stroke. You see how it goes from the gradient to the green to the white behind the green, and then I put some stars in the background. I threw black in the back. It makes everything pop right off the page. I guess I did use the color palette from the bedroom, but I did not obviously paint the bedroom black. But last little accent, you know, the top of the J, a lowercase j, they have a little circle. I put a little moon there. So it's like jammies, you know, jammies. It goes with the theme of going to sleep, babies, you know, bubbly. That's why it's kind of like a cloud type of look at the babies kind of sitting in. And I purposely kind of made this cloud up here higher and to go around the whole contour of the baby. So it's just the little things. And that's why this stuff takes so long to do. But in the end, it's a brand, and you know, it's a brand that can become really famous and really help somebody become famous. So let's get into actually building the logo. All right, so now we're in Adobe Illustrator CS6. We're going to start by coming to our text tool or hitting T on the keyboard, typing in the word jam, J-A-M-M. Hit escape to get out of the selection, and let's make it a little bit larger. And we're going to type in teaspoon or T-E-A-S. TeaspoonRegular is the font, and I'm going to Shift Command O. I'm going to create outlines on this entire word, and I'm going to ungroup everything. Now, I'm going to come over here and make an ellipse, and we're going to make another ellipse right on top, And we're gonna start making these curved cutouts of the letters. And the way that you do that is you select both of them. Now come to the Pathfinder, and it minuses the top object. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make rectangles to get these sides cut out of here also. And I'm going to select both and then minus front and both and minus front. Oops, that is in the back. Minus the front. Okay. And now we got a little bit of a lopsided figure. Let me fix that one more time. Okay. And we're going to zoom in on this word jam, J-A-M-M, and we're going to put one of these over each character. Or what I did was I put over each part of a character. I'll show you what that means in a second. Let's hit Option, click Shift, and we're going to put it over the A. Option, click Shift, and we're going to stretch it. And now we're going to bring it over the M. But now what I did was I did it over each individual leg. So I'm going to do one, copy it again, copy it again. Now let me put this in another color so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm basically making the shape on top of my letters, which are actually shapes now, and I'm going to cut them out in the end. I'm going to select all three of these and shift them over here, and then I'm just going to actually move these down a little bit to get them where I want them to be, because I want a little bit of this loop showing in the M's. And now I'm going to select both, and I'm going to minus the front. Select both, minus the front. We're going to have to do this. 1, 2, oops, let's see. All right. Basically, I had to lock this one. It was interfering with it. So every time you do this, lock this by going to Command 2, and it locks it. And now you can select, and then select the whole word, these two, and minus the front. Now you can go to Option, Command 2. It unlocks those. Or you can come up to Object and go into Lock, Unlock. Or excuse me, Object, Unlock All. And I'm just going to take this M, because I cut it out already. I don't want to do all that work again. And just Option-Shift-Click over here. And I'm going to delete that. So now I have the word jam. And I'm going to type in the word in. And I'm going to enlarge it. And I'm going to type in IES. Jammies. Jammin Jammies. All right. And the next thing I am going to do is I am going to, let's see, what is the next thing I should do? Let's fill this with some color right now. Well, actually, you know what? Let's hit the direct selection, the letter A, and we're going to select this point up here. And just like with the ellipse tool, we're going to make one ellipse. We're going to make that moon. Option-Shift-Click on top, make another moon, minus the front. And now we have our moon shape, which is actually dotting the J. You know, the dot on the top of the J. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you what I did. But basically, I'm going to fill my gradient. You can make your own gradient in here later. And the same thing with the IN. I'm going to, definitely outline the IN and the IAS. I did not say that before. And I'm going to select this eyedropper and pull in that color. Okay, so basically, if you're looking at this, how I have color in the middle, then I have the white, and then I have the dark green behind it, what I did was I took this word jammin'. All I'm thinking is Bob Marley music right now. We jammin'. All right, so jam, J-A-M-M, I'm going to come to my stroke or hit the letter X to switch the fill in the stroke, and I'm going to add white. And basically, what I want to do is, and you can do this only in CS6 with the stroke, I want to align my stroke to the inside. All right, and I'm going to make my stroke, keep it 1 point. And I'm going to copy, and I'm going to hit Command B to paste in back. Or you can come to Edit, Paste in back. And basically, I'm going to change that white stroke that I just did to that green. And I'm going to make it a couple weights heavier, and it should come out the back. Hold on 1 second. Oh, the reason that isn't because I have to change this to, let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let me back up here. All right, so I'm going to copy, then copy it in the back, and I'm going to align the stroke to the outside. And I'm going to change it to green. There we go. And I can make this green a little bit darker. Let me just change this to CMYK and make that green nice little dark. Looks pretty similar, right? I also added a shadow too, so you can even come up here and do effects, stylize, drop shadow. I always preview it because that looks muddy and crappy. So do like a pixel. You know, it depends on how zoomed in you are too. I'm pretty zoomed in my canvas, so you're definitely going to get a different thing that I'm getting. And I'm just going to leave the eye in as it is. You just do the same stuff on that. I don't want this tutorial to be too long. And I'm going to select the bottom half and I'm going to change it to this yellow, and I'm going to take my gradient tool because I want to change the direction and just click and move just like that. Perfect. I don't want it too dark, but I don't want it too light either. All right, so now I have my word, and we need a background for that word now. Now, the way that I did this was, well, actually, you know what? Let's not jump into the background. I'll tell you why. Basically, I'm going to pull this baby silhouette here, and I'm going to just put a black stroke on the outside. This is what I drew. And this is, you know, one final piece right here. And basically, what I did was I changed the stroke color to that green. And I came up to my brushes, and I went to a standard brush, which is like a charcoal type brush, and added it just like so. And you can even change the thickness with the weight. So instead of a point, I'm going to change it to a half a point. And I'm going to copy and paste it back, so Command B. And I'm going to fill the inside by using my eyedropper. I'm going to fill it with that yellow that I have down here. And I'm going to make my stroke about 2 points. And you won't see this yet until I put it on the black background, but it's going to make that 3-layer effect. And when I say 3 layers, I mean you got the color, the fill, the outside green, and then behind that green, there's some white. It just, you know, gives it dimension and add some character to it. So I have to actually take the fill out of this top layer because I did make 2 layers. All right, there we go. And that looks kind of funny at 2 points. Basically, watch. If I put a black box behind this guy right now, you're going to see everything I was talking about. All right, so let's mess around with this real quick. The bottom layer, I'm going to make that one. There we go. That's exactly what I want. Yeah, baby. That's a baby. All right. And I'm going to now move this baby right on top of the word. Make them a little bit smaller. Okay. And now at this point, this is when we do the background, because we're really going to take these ellipses and I'm going to send it to the back behind it. And the way you do that is Object, Arrange, Send to Back. And I'm just going to move and copy a bunch of these till I really have a contour around the image of the baby. So I'm going to go around the feet, and I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to go around the words. Now, what I did on mine was I left enough space for the .com, and then I actually didn't say this in the critique before, but the reason I had these two coming down was so I could fit that nice little tagline in there, and it will balance very well. So I'm going to copy this all the way over to the other side, so they both line up on the bottom. I'm going to make one that fills right there. And what I did was, on the next couple, was I want them to be smaller. So I kind of went like this, and I made a bunch of them. You shift it over. If these are pissing you off when you click them and they're moving, just click one and get Command 2. It locks them. So I'm going to lock everything up here because it's so I don't start selecting them on accident. I'm going to lock this one and I'll lock this one. So we're going to shift these over. You can even lock these other elements. And I'm just going to make a bunch of these kind of random. And I need to fill the space behind the baby. And what you would do on your canvas is you'd want to select everything that is black, I guess, with a black fill. Basically, let me fix these a little bit, move these over till they kind of make sense. I want them to kind of dip where the letters change or parts of the letters change. So I might need to add, oh, no, I don't need to add any more circles. So it all looks pretty cool right there. And the A looks kind of funky. There we go. That works better. You know what? I could do this. There we go. That looks much, much better. So basically what I'm going to do here is I can't, there's little circles behind the baby and the type, so you can't select all of them, by clicking each individual one, because eventually you're going to click the wrong thing and you're going to have to start all over. But we're going to come to select same, fill color. And, oh, there you go. There's the black. It selects all the black. And I'm going to come to my shape modes in Pathfinder and unite. And now I have one big shape right there. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a stroke, and it's going to be this color before that yellow color. I'm going to refill that with black. And I'm going to make my stroke a bunch of points so it's nice and thick. And I am now going to copy and paste in the back. So Command B. And I'm not going to put a stroke on this. I am going to fill it with green. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the up arrow on the keyboard, and it's going to magically appear right behind it. So, you know, you got to just, over time, you'll learn how the structure of, and I don't want you to get confused with layers, actual layer palette over here on the bottom right, because I'm only using one layer. It's about sending things to the back, sending things to the front, and locking items and stuff like that. So we're going to move that green. It was a little bit too much. And I'm going to fill that moon with white. Actually, you know what? It was green because I wanted it to look like it was a part of those letters down there, the word Jammin. And the last thing, well, actually not the last thing, it's almost second last thing. Let's type in the word .com. Throw that bad boy in here. You could style that on your own. Just want you to see how it looks right there. It balances. You know, that J filled the room. That didn't. So I threw the .com in there to balance it a little bit. I can add some gradient in here. The black. Hold on one second. To make it look a little bit gray and black, kind of like I did on the final logo. Put the black on the top. And the last thing I did was all these stars. And basically, all you have to do is go to the star tool, make a bunch of little stars. Let's fill them with a dark color so you can see. And blah, 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 blah. And, you know, copy them over, make them smaller, you know, change them around. You could go into individual ones and, you know, rotate. You know, select this one, rotate to the left. Select this one, rotate to the right, make it a little bit smaller. And, you know, it takes about a good 10 minutes to get a nice star palette over here. You know, I say select a bunch of them and just kind of rearrange things. There we go. All right, just so you see how this is. And I'm gonna group these. I'm just gonna throw these on top, and I filled them with a lighter color when I finally did them. And I'm going to make a bunch of these by Option Shift clicking, which is not working. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And I want to now select all of this, all right? I want to select all the stars and hold Shift while you're selecting each individual one. And I want to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, so it throws it behind the baby now. Watch, if I undo it, it was like that. Now it's behind the baby. And I would just manually go in here and delete all these stars, these extra ones. If you still have them grouped, you have to do this with the direct selection, which is the letter A on the keyboard, until you clean it up and make it all nicey nice like it is over here. This looks really messy, but basically the last thing I did was with the stars was I took all of them and I guess I made them transparent, like 50%. And you got some of them that overlap each other, so obviously you're going to have to work around that. But it's just about getting the concept on how to do this. The last thing is adding the comfy newborn wear, which I will not do. I'll just copy this over. If you did this whole tutorial already, that should be a piece of cake. And that is it. Jammin Jammies. Time to jam when it's bedtime. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Again, it's all about you guys. I want to help you out. And I hope you're learning. I've gotten a lot of really great, awesome responses on my other videos, and that makes me feel great. But in the end, you know, it's you getting better as a graphic artist. Check out our other videos. We have some alongside here, right here. You can click on any one of them. It'll take you to them. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, click this button right here. You'll get these every week in your email if that's how you have your notifications set up. Besides that, comment below. Let me know what you think of the series, if anything can be done better or change around. If you have ideas for future letters, because we're at J right now, we still got to do another 16 letters of the alphabet. So any ideas, shoot them down below. Don't shoot them down, but like this video, and that's really it, everybody. I'm Steve from GraphicDesignerTips.com. Have a blessed and awesome night. Peace.